In the Huddle was created to give student athletes, parents, and coaches an inside look at the journey through US college sport and all that comes with it. The demands, the experiences, the excitement, and the opportunities available to our student athletes from around the world. Study and Play USA facilitates a comprehensive, customised approach for student athletes and families for their whole journey, from their high school preparation years right through to US college graduation.
Hi folks, delighted to introduce a brand new team member to our listeners, a new team member of our Study and Play USA team. And we're going to hear about his role, his background, and how he's going to inspire student athletes along this pathway. So Jarrod Mann, welcome to our latest In the Huddle episode, mate.
Thanks for having me.
It's awesome to have you in the podcast, but equally as exciting to have you as part of the team, mate. Look, I reckon a good place to start is, obviously I know the answer to this, but if you can just describe your role that we've brought you in here.
Yeah, so you guys have brought me in to be a recruiting mentor. So basically helping people facilitate almost the entire journey from first point of contact with Study and Play all the way through to graduation. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome, mate. We're excited about that, and even just the words of recruiting mentor, that sums it up pretty well. That's what we do in terms of the mentoring part of it. What do you think the modern student athlete needs mentoring in along this pathway the most? Do you think, where do you see that role going with the mentoring perspective?
Probably the biggest thing is it's just such a big shift from Australia to the United States. All through high school, you're living with your family in most cases, or, if you're in boarding school, it's a little bit easier for you, I'd say. But living with the family, spend your whole life at home, it's a big adjustment moving over to the States. So it's really just helping balance expectations and homesickness and, what the whole experience is going to be like.
Yeah, that's great. And you've done it. So that helps too, albeit a few years ago now. So I guess talk us through that, mate. How did you end up going to the US, and where'd you go? And just give us an overview of your whole US college golf experience.
Yeah, so luckily I had friends that had gone through you guys. They're a few years older than me, but grew up playing junior golf with out at Capera Country Golf Club. And they'd gone over, and it just seemed like the greatest thing ever. Every time they come back for Christmas or summer break, we'd meet up on the golf course. That's all they'd chat about. And obviously I spent my entire childhood watching even watching the NCAA golf, watching the PGA Tour, just wanted to get over to America. So yeah, I engaged yourself, and you guys helped me get over there, and I ended up signing a scholarship with Eastern Arizona Community College.
And how did you find, because you went for 2 years and came back for sort of family reasons after that. So for those that are not aware of the system over there, junior college 2 years, and the idea from there is you then progress, if you want to, onto a 4-year college to finish your final 2 years. So which you had the opportunity to do. You were doing really well. Came home for other reasons. But, how did you find those 2 years? What were some of the highlights, mate?
Oh, I loved it. I miss it every day. I still talk to the boys that I was teammates with and roommates with over there. It was definitely very different. Living in a dorm on a campus. Community college was a smaller town, but like an hour and a half away from Phoenix, major city. So spent most weekends there, but I absolutely adored it and would go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love hearing that, because that's the way it should be, right? If we just stick on the golf, because I remember you were a good golfer when you went, otherwise you wouldn't have been able to go. But and you came back a better player, and you just kept going from strength to strength. And haven't seen you on a golf course lately, and but from all reports, you're still killing it. So talk us through that post-college journey to, obviously trying to get your ticket to play professionally, and where that took you, and maybe some of the learnings and generally that whole story.
Yeah, so I believe really the biggest thing I learned from college golf was, did I want to be a professional golfer? The life of a college golfer is very similar. There's a lot of responsibility. You're playing a different course week in, week out, basically. You're playing against the best golfers. You really get to understand whether that's a life you want to lead and live. And I loved it, so I definitely wanted to have a crack. And so I ended up playing a little bit of professional golf over in the UK, a little bit through Europe. So played over there. Very expensive. Obviously, COVID was a bit of an issue and made things very difficult. But I definitely learned from college that's something I wanted to do, and I did really enjoy chasing that dream.
Yeah, great. And where to now? Now that I guess being a golfer, age becomes less of a factor in your sport, right? So is that door closed for now or closed forever, or what's your thoughts on the professional front?
Oh, the door's never closed. I'd say with golf, like you've always got that. There's obviously like senior tours, all that sort of stuff. I just felt for my time being, I'd been playing golf semi, professionally at high amateur level for a long time, and I just got a little bit burnt out, a little bit tired, and I just want to get back to just enjoying the game I love. It becomes a grind, which you got to love the grind if you want to get there. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Yes.
But I just hit that point where I was just like, I'm happy to just play with the boys on a weekend and start hitting a bit of work.
Yeah, no, that's great, and work you are, and obviously we're delighted to have you here because even just you relaying your story there, you know what it's like to be thinking about going to America on this path and planning it and getting to a level good enough. You know what it's like to live it, and that was obviously a pretty positive experience for you. And now you know what the next level looks like as well beyond that, and how it is settling into life out of college and the ups and downs of trying to be a professional and what other options become available to you through that college experience. So we're delighted to have you here. We think you're going to be an incredibly good asset to our families that we work with and our golfers, and we look forward to our golfers meeting you and working with you. So that's great. And I guess there's other thing I think I'd love for the listeners to know about you, which we think is pretty cool as well, is the awesome work that you're doing with some special needs golfers. You want to talk about that a bit, mate?
Yeah, so it just happened by sheer coincidence. I was playing a fair bit, and my coach, my swing coach, was actually coaching a special needs golfer. And he just was watching me hit balls. His parents just asked if I compete, which I do, and they just said, "Hey, we'd love to come watch you play." He came and watched a few of my tournaments, and we just struck up a real bond and just became friends. And so for a period of time there, I was just taking him out on the golf course, just helping him get out, and it's kind of grown to where I've been involved in the Special Olympic community here in Queensland, and got to know a bunch of awesome athletes that are unreal at the game of golf and really switched on when it comes to competing at that level. And so Dylan Price is probably shout out to him. He's the golfer I've been working with for a while. He actually is an Olympian now. He's a bronze medalist at the World Championship stage, so over in Berlin last year. So I got to caddy for him at the National Championships where he won gold, which is brilliant. But yeah, he's now officially an Olympian, represented Australia, and yeah, it's brilliant seeing them just kick goals left, right, and centre.
Yeah, no, well done. That's awesome, and well done to Dylan. He's obviously going to appreciate that shout out as well. But yeah, kudos to you too, because obviously that's something that it's something you probably haven't had practiced in before you doing it. So you're learning on the run, and obviously done a really good job. The proof's in the pudding there with Dylan's result. So that's awesome, mate. And again, that's another. I think it's a great thing that we hope that you're able to continue, because I can see when you talk about it, you sort of eyes light up when you talk about that role, even when we first spoke to you about this role. But yeah, just backward a little bit, Jarrod, I think one of the things that I'd like to quickly get you to share with listeners as well is, and I hope you don't mind me saying, you're well into your 20s now. So you're experienced, right? And so you can now look back after a considerable, distance of time or amount of time, back on your college experience to now. We've had COVID in the meantime. We've had all those things. What do you think is the biggest difference now if you were Jarrod Mann going to college next year to what you were going, 8 to 10 years ago when you first went? What's the biggest difference for a young golfer, let's say, looking to go in the college experience?
The biggest difference that I see from when I went over to now is basically just the knowledge of the game, of everything that's involved to create an elite program, elite players. Obviously, the game of golf is something that's really adapted and changed a lot over the last 20 years, probably thanks to Tiger Woods, realistically, when it comes to diet, gym workout, the advancing golf equipment, launch monitors now becoming a thing. It's something that universities have really grabbed a hold of and noticed that that's a big key part of creating elite and awesome golfers. So that's probably the biggest thing, is the facilities and how much they're putting into their athletes has probably just been tuned up that bit extra.
Yeah. Look, sometimes we're in this industry and have been for a long time, and so we sometimes don't see it because we're in it. But from your point, having gone outside this industry and doing your own thing, now coming back in as an adult, what are the biggest changes? Like for us, it seems like, gosh, this is such a growing pathway, and we know that because we see it. But what's your take on that? Like, you must feel like there's so much more interest in college sport now than there was even when you went over, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously being in the States, you realize like how massive college sports is over there, and how it's treated by the people over there, and it's not as much really known over here at all. But obviously that knowledge is growing, and it's growing pretty fast, and it's awesome to see that it's getting exposure, because for myself, I just think golf, it's almost where you need to be, is the States. And the fact that so many young talents are now finding out, and without having to have someone like shove it in their face to be like, hey, did you know this was there? And everyone, what are you talking about? So it's awesome seeing that knowledge and awareness is starting to get out there in the community.
Yeah, and I guess looking back for you talked to those young lads that you said at your local club at Capera who'd been and done it through this pathway, and that was something that sparked for you. I said the more of those people that are getting around golf courses around Australia, the more likely they are to be talking to younger kids, and that's probably the number one reason why I think it's growing. More and more people are doing it, and then therefore that gets carried on to the younger generation. So that's certainly really cool to hear that as well from you. But I suppose, what I'm curious about also hearing from you is in terms of your role with Study and Play, you are not going to be just working with golfers, even though golf is your baby, so to speak, much as tennis is mine. I obviously work across all sports as well. What do you think are the things that, regardless of the sport, what are the things you're most looking forward to helping student athletes with in terms of this role?
Just getting over there is the big thing. It's awesome to sort of feel like I'm helping facilitate sort of a dream. It's one thing that a lot of young athletes, regardless of the sport, you envision yourself being on a big stage, competing against the best. And I feel like this is a way of helping them achieve that and really push forth into the space of whatever sport they're playing in, if they want to get to that professional level or just want to compete at a super high level while getting a degree. It's just awesome knowing that you're helping people chase a dream, and that's really impactful.
Yeah, no, well said. Well, you've come to the right place. I think we're going to be on a pretty cool journey together while you're here, mate. We're looking forward to our student athletes benefiting from your knowledge. That's a key word that you've used a lot today, but also your passion, which is pretty evident as well. So, mate, just going to wrap it up. This is a quick podcast today to introduce you. I'm sure you're going to be on more of our episodes coming ahead in the upcoming episodes. But a few little quick fire questions, mate. Very curious to know, put you on the spot, no prep for this. Who's your favourite all-time athlete?
Tiger Woods.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Super easy.
I knew you were going to say that.
Could have gone Kobe, but
yeah,
Tiger.
Yeah, and give us one reason why.
Mentality. He's just undeniable. Simple as that. You just can't beat him. He's just record, just how he went about it, just ruthless.
Yep, awesome. Love it. And favourite food?
Oh, that's a loaded question, but I'll go steak.
Okay. And what about when you're in the US? What was your favourite US food? That
In
was
and out burger.
In
No,
and
you're
out.
close. In and out burger was so good. I miss it every day.
No young athletes, of course, you are allowed to have the occasional cheat meal over there, and obviously that was yours, mate.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
Favorite American sporting team?
LA Lakers, basic, but I still ride or die with them. Still watch them all the way through.
Good on you. Favorite all-time player for the Lakers?
Kobe Bryant. Yeah,
great.
Easy.
Yeah, there's a theme. There's some seriously good athletes there that you're talking about. Look, let's wrap it up with I think a golf question. I think is one to finish on. But favorite golf course in the world that you have not played on that you'd like to play on, and the best one that you've played on?
Well, the obvious one that I haven't played on is Augusta National. Got to play Augusta. I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity, but I've been there. Got to go to the Masters in 2016, where Danny Willett won when Jordan Spieth had a little bit of a hack job on the back nine, but the course was just magical. It just made me want to play it so bad. But the best I've played in the world is probably Quintero in Arizona, just outside Phoenix, carved in the mountains, in the desert. It just unbelievable what they can do. It was just best day I've ever had on a golf course. Loved it.
Is that through your college experience? Is that representing the university at the time, or was that separate to that?
It was separate. It was actually just some friends I made over there. Just made good, basically. I call them family now, but yeah, they were friends I made over there, and it was just in a summer break. Went and played golf, and they went, "Hey, you got to play this course. It's unreal. Come out with us," and I did, and unreal.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, look, until you get to Augusta National, right? We're just so pleased to have you here, Jarrod. And look, if you do get over to Augusta, we just expect tickets, right? That's the only deal with working here at Stunning Play USA, but we hope you can do it. But for now, look, fantastic to get to know you a little bit more, and hopefully our listeners will get to meet you in person in due course. So thanks for coming along.
All right. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.